In this video, we're going to chat to Luke Curtis at Brighton Music Conference, and let's jump into it. Hey Luke, how are you?
I'm very well, Graham. How are you?
I'm good. And what brings you to Brighton Music Conference?
So I've been fortunate enough to be invited to come along and capture sort of the whole event. So capture the behind the scenes, capture all of the brand partners and the sponsorships, and just give the guys content that they can utilise for their social media channels, so they can broaden the reach of Brighton Music Conference to bring more people back next year and continue to build it.
Excellent. And what sort of thing what are the main things they've asked you to take? What sort of imagery are you looking for? Is it kind of people or brand stuff?
So for me, with events like this, it's all about interaction, isn't it? People come here to learn and engage. So I think the thing we're looking for is as many opportunities for people to learn and engage. So in terms of the stuff I'm going to capture, it's always going to be people engaging with the brands, people engaging with the keynote speakers, and just that little spark, someone sitting in front of someone they idolise, they're learning a bit of new information, and just that little bit of engagement. So for me, that's like the key agenda for content to capture.
And obviously things have been growing rapidly for you last 12 months. Your YouTube channel's smashing it. Shouts out to Luke's YouTube channel. I'll link it in the card above if you want to go and have a look. He puts amazing content to help DJs. Obviously we're doing the similar thing, and it's great to collaborate. For those of you who missed Luke's amazing video on building your EPK, again, I'll link that up below and above. Thanks for doing that, first of all.
No worries. And I think the reason behind it is, I photograph dance music and I work a lot with DJs and stuff. I've got no interest in being a DJ. I've got no interest in promoting parties. I just want to catalogue it and document what's going on. So for me, it was really important to take what I'd learned and try and give it back to the industry, because it's useless to me. So I thought to myself, what? I'll make a YouTube video, and the knock-on effect of giving back has actually helped my portfolio hugely. People are like, oh, he's the EPK guy or he's the press shot guy, if that makes sense. And it's become like that's the person you go to, as opposed to just being another photographer in amongst the mix of really good photographers. So that process of giving back has really helped me.
Yeah, we were chatting about this morning, about when you're looking for a photographer for photos for dance music, actually finding someone that actually takes DJs and not just the wedding guy or the guy down the road with the camera.
Uncle Bobs, as they're called, basically. So everyone's got an uncle called Bob who's got a camera who can take pictures of events and stuff. And I think dance music, in terms of the genre of photography, it's really difficult to master. There's a lot of technical know-how you have to use. So it does make sense to go to someone who is a specialist in it. And I think if you go to a wedding photographer, they're going to be massively adept at shooting weddings. If you go to a nightclub photographer, they might not be great at shooting weddings. You have to stick with, especially it goes imagine building a house. You can get a guy a jack of all trades that can do everything, or you get a plumber in, you get a carpenter, you get an electrician, you get an architect, you get all those specialists to come in and do a specialist job because the work's going to be done properly.
Yeah, and you do that across the whole of dance music. You bring in a PR manager, you bring in do your bookings, you also bring in a photographer to do the photography photos properly for you. I guess then it leads on to the next thing. So what are the biggest 3 tips for getting your photos right as a DJ?
So I think as a DJ, some of the key things to get your photos right is I would divide your images down into 2 categories, okay? So the first category is stock images. Now, these are the type of images that are very clean, shot on a plain background, and they are used to promote yourself when you get bookings and things like that. And then you have the lifestyle stuff, which is basically you going about your business and being a person. Now, those are really essential in terms of building a fan base. So you utilize both categories of those images, 1 to promote yourself and 2 to build a fan base, because they go hand in hand together. So I would say, first tip, have both of those categories. Second tip, try to be yourself. It's so important to be yourself. We've all seen it. The moody DJ shot. The moody DJ shot. I think that the time for that is gone. People go to parties because they want to have a great time. You need to give that energy in all of your images and stuff. So I think it's really important to be natural and be relaxed. And then the third one as well is just make sure that it's just clean. And what I mean by clean is, ultimately, the image you're using is commercial. It's about promotion. It's about marketing. So make sure it's clean in its presentation. Don't get it done on an iPhone. Get it done on a professional bit of kit by a professional photographer, so it has that commercial feel to it. And that's going to help you. People look at it and go, oh yeah, he's taken the time and the due diligence to take good images. He's a pro. I'll invest some time in listening to his music or following his profile.
And I guess the next question is, when do you need pro images? I know that a lot of DJs are really starting, and I know a lot of people in this audience are really starting, and do they need them right at the start, or is it when would you think they need? When do you think they need them?
as the businessman I am, I would say straight away, like it's opportunity for me. But the reason I say straight away is not to bring income to photographers, but I think the moment you start playing to a crowd is the moment you want to start building your profile and you want to start building your audience. And if you don't have the assets needed to market yourself, it'd be a bit like Nike, launching a new pair of trainers, but having no marketing collateral behind it to market them. So you need them sort of initially as soon as you start to take music seriously, aka playing in venues. That's when I'd say you need them.
Okay, that's cool. I know a lot of people are going to be like, do I need them right away? Do I need them now? And you're like, oh.
Just on that point, so obviously it's like some people may not be able to afford a professional photographer straight away, so go and find a friend who wants to develop their career as a photographer. That relationship you create, like network, you want to progress as a musician, they want to progress as a photographer, he can shoot your portfolio pictures, he can help you get some reach. Like that working together is going to benefit you both massively. So you don't need to work with someone like me straight away. You can start with someone at an entry level just to build each other's sort of careers and paths. So don't be daunted by oh my god, it's going to cost me so much. Find someone within your budget sort of thing, or within your close relationship that you can work together with. And it's like me coming to shoot this today. The key thing I take away from this is the ability to work with Brighton Music Conference. It's not about me going, oh yeah, it's another paycheck. It's a great opportunity to work with another brand in the industry and support each other. And you should be doing that grassroots from the moment you start in music all the way through to when you're headlining festivals and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I'll work with lots of people, but just because it's a great experience for me. Always trying to build that experience below, and trying to just build knowledge for me. It's always time. Let's jump into a quick lightning round. Right, ready?
I'm ready.
Cat or dog?
Cat, 100%. I've got 2 Bengals.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee, black, no sugar, no milk.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram, 100%.
SoundCloud or Spotify?
SoundCloud.
Really interesting. Canon or Sony?
Sony all day long.
And so what's coming up for you next, Luke?
So next for me is I've started an art project called Art in Dance, which is a creation of what I believe some of the strongest dance music photographers in the UK. So I basically want to take that, and build the movement and get bigger and bigger. So we're going to IMS in May. So we're showcasing 24 pieces of work from some of these amazing photographers. It's a great platform for these guys to, get in front of a bigger audience, and also for music photography to be seen as an art form, as opposed to going to take pictures of people having a great time at parties. I really want to sort of focus on the art, hence the project name Art in Dance. So that's coming up, and it's really starting to build momentum. So that's taking up a lot of my time, but getting a lot back from it.
Oh, what an interesting project. That sounds amazing. Which photographers have you got work? What are you displaying?
So really amazingly, some of the photographers I've got are my absolute heroes. So Dan Reed is a great example, shoots all of the DJ Mag covers, phenomenal. Ryan Dinham, Mark DeGraat, Jack Kimbar, Mike Portlock, Daisy Denham, Hannah Metcalf, Charlotte Robinson, who shoots for Abode. She's amazing. Her story started off really grassroots and is building and building and building. Ash Yod, the list goes on. The full list of all of the guys, hopefully we can put it in the comments down below. But as a project, if you are a music photographer, get involved and support these guys, and hopefully we can bring more attention to it as an art form. But I'm super privileged with the photographers that are involved. I'm really grateful, because these are guys that when I started my career, they were the people that I took inspiration from, and now I get the opportunity to see my work amongst them and build this project. So it's a huge honour. Amazing.
And then where can we find you?
So you can find me all over social media. So my main social media hideout is basically Instagram, which is lukecurtis.co.uk. I'm also on Facebook. I don't use it massively because you have to heavily monetize it to get results. Instagram is the one, and YouTube is the one for me. So if you want to check out some of my work, head over there and show some support.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, mate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, mate.
That's all right. All right, come on. See you good. And if you like this content, please subscribe, share it, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.